better in person. Well, I guess we got almost a full crowd. We got 3 whole students in the room. Oh my goodness. All right. If I read the new color set correctly, I should still have Ivan and Louis today, but they're not here. So we'll see. I'm going to click the button, and then I'm going to stand up. And then as it happens, every day, I click the button, I stand up, somebody pops in, every time. Good morning, everybody. All right, today I'm going to show you the easy mode, how to do that most difficult of thing you were struggling with earlier, finding tangent lines of graphs. I know, you're like, wait, you were holding out on this the whole time? Well, not exactly. We're going to go over how to make the calculator do it for you. And the reason we didn't do that before is, of course, for the understanding. Right? I wanted you to see the concept of how it's finding this tangent line. The calculator does cheat a little bit, and then it goes ahead and uses the calculus bit that we're preparing for to find the exact answer. Well, we're going to get to the calculus bit at the end of the year. So for right now, I want you to see how you can use the calculator to help you find those wonderful things, these tangent lines on the graph. And so this is, I can pull up the device. So here is my graphing calculator. I've got the emulator here. Show that to the folks at home. And you guys should now have a calculator app on your Chromebooks, yes? If you do not have a Chromebook, you don't get the apps. So do you have your own calculator, graphing calculator? No, I don't have a graphing. No? Okay. Then, let's check the power on this thing. All right, that'll work for today. So I'll lend you this one for today. And we can go over at a later date what you can use at home. Desmos will work. It's just a little more roundabout method to use Desmos, all right? Yeah, anybody else at home, if you are not on an actual Chromebook, and thus you don't have a TI graphing calculator equivalent, there are methods of using Desmos to make this do the calculation for you. Maybe I'll make a supplementary video and post that on Google Classroom for that, all right? Okay, this is fairly simple, as there is literally an operation in the calculator. You can say, hey, calculator, draw me the tangent line, and it'll just do it, right? That's about all there is to it. But first, of course, we need an actual function to graph. So if you haven't already, go turn your calculator on, go to the y equals. That's where you always start with your graphs. And I picked a nice, simple quadratic function for us. Notice I did not put it in standard form, just to throw you off. It doesn't have to be in standard form. All right, just type 8x. Reminders for those of you who haven't used one in a while, anytime you're using x, you are using the variable key right here next to the green alpha button, not alpha, type the letter x. Okay, this one right here. And the squared button is right down here, diagonal out from the 7. Okay. So go ahead and plug that one in. 8x minus x squared minus 16. Also make sure you're using the minus key, not the negative down here. And then normally you would hit the graph button, right? Right? That's a terrible habit to get into, honestly. Better habit would be zoom, and either zoom 6 to get the standard window view, Or if you go down lower, you will find zoom fit, and that will automatically adjust the view to like zoom in on and showcase what the calculator thinks is the best part of the function, which for parabolas is usually pretty good. So if we select that one, you can highlight and press enter or type 0, and it will show you that zoomed in function there. I like the zoom standard for this one though. It goes out just a little bit more, so zoom 6. And it centers on the origin from positive 10, negative 10 in both directions. That's the zoom standard. All right, is everybody caught up at this point? Bless you. Good. Anyone having any trouble getting here? Freaky things going on? I typed in a quadratic, it's showing me something else. There's no axes on my graph. What's going on? Anything like that? Okay, so that was the old stuff, right? Getting a graph on the graphing calculator. Here's the new thing. The graphing calculator can draw, keyword there for you, the tangent line. Just like we've practiced doing, we drew it in by hand. That's fairly easy to do, right? The visual estimate, your brains are very good at doing. It's getting that precise calculation that is the calculus bit that'll be trickier, that'll come later. So we're actually going to use the draw menu. It is right here in the upper center, the program key, but second program button that says draw right above it. And you should be greeted with this menu. Okay. And you may have spotted it already. Number 5, draw a tangent for me. Now, make sure you are going directly from this menu from the graph screen. Okay? So we're going to go straight from that graph. Draw on this graph a tangent line, and either scroll down to highlight or just select 5, and it will take you back to the graph. And at this point, it's asking, where do you want me to draw this graph? If you use your arrow keys, you can move your cursor left and right. We only have one function selected. If there were multiple functions, you could use up and down to scroll between the functions you have on screen. And we could decide, where do we want to draw this tangent line? Do we want to put it here? Want to put it there? Or we could type in. Notice all of these, they have some very insane decimal value because it's just the approximate location of that pixel. But we want to give a proper number location. So let's try, say, 2. Maybe just type in 2 and press enter. It will draw for you the tangent line at x equals 2. And even better, it gives you the equation. It doesn't get much easier than that. It's free answers. So this tool will let us complete our worksheet for today, designed for calculus practice work. We can use the graphing calculator. It says, hey, here's a function. What's the tangent at this location? Boom, done. There's the equation for it. Isn't that fantastic? All right, any questions at this point? Okay, and from here, we can continue to explore. We're just on the free graphing screen now. It has added this as an object on the graph screen. If I quit and go back, it is still there. So if you want to draw another one, you can. We can draw another tangent. Let's see what happens if we put it right at the vertex there on 4. Right, we should get a perfectly horizontal, 0 slope. Right? Now we got all these extra lines. If you have too many lines on your screen, because they don't exist on this list, right? They are drawing lines. Go back to the draw menu, and right at the top, number 1, clear the draw. And that will erase all of the drawn bits so that your graph is now back to just the function. All right. Okay, I think that about covers it. You can explore. There are, of course, other things to play with in the draw menu if you want to add more things to your graph at any point. But that's the one that we're going to use. That's the calculate the tangent equation. So your worksheet today, I think, has not actually that many questions on it. Yes, you may. Was it 8? 8 questions. Right? And for each one, you're going to type the function into the calculator. Watch your parentheses on those rational guys. And I'll go ahead and let's take a look at the worksheet here, right? It gives you a specific coordinates of the points. You, of course, only really need the x-coordinate. You'll type the y equals function into the calculator somewhere on your y list. Say, hey, draw me a tangent at x equals 3. And it will do so, and it will produce for you the equation. You will write that equation as your final answer, because that's what they want. They want the slope-intercept form of the tangent equation. The calculator gives it to us in slope-intercept form. This is perhaps the easiest day we've had yet. If you are not experiencing success with this, please let me know right away. Thing. Okay. Ah, okay. What if it's like a backlog? If it wasn't working yesterday, and all of a sudden it works, everything in the queue suddenly gets spit out? Yeah. Something you might want to keep to yourself. It's not super confidential. I mean, if you go to this school, we kind of already have an understanding of your financial situation at home. So what else is that going to tell us, right? All right. I think I'm done talking. Nobody's come up with any new questions. So it's just that worksheet for today. Tomorrow we are doing, what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's it's another look back at tail behavior and sort of a polynomial review in general. And then your actual quarter review will be posted on Friday morning. You'll have that great big weekend to work on it. And then the test will be next week, Friday.